How's it going, everyone? My name is AJ, and today I'm going to answer a fitness question. Go to your favorite gym on any Monday, and you'll see people lining up for the barbell flat bench like it's a cattle call. No matter how many coaches harp about the importance of other compound movements like the squat, overhead press, and deadlift, the bench press will probably still remain the most glamorized movement in the gym. But what happens when you hear or feel something a bit unusual while performing this movement, in the form of a click or snap from your elbow? Although it isn't painful per se, it's reasonable to be curious or even concerned as to why it is happening, and if it's something you should worry about. In this video, I'm going to explain why your elbow snaps when you bench press, how serious it is, and what to do to fix it from a scientific perspective. Before I go any further, please support the channel by leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell to ensure you stay up to date on new videos. There could be one of two means causing the snap in your elbow, assuming you're not experiencing pain. If the noise occurs every once in a while, you could be experiencing cavitation, where air bubbles become trapped in the joint over time and then expel when the joint moves a certain way. As I've discussed with other types of crepitus or noise at the joint, this is not something I would stress about. However, if you have a chronic click when you bench press or perform the same movement over and over again, it's a different story. As your elbow tracks during the bench press, many tendons, which connect muscle to bone, slide over or rub on the medial epicondyle and trochlea of the humerus and the olecranon of the ulna. This produces some noise, but not enough to be heard or felt under normal circumstances. If there is scar tissue built up from a previous injury, or you have certain muscles that are undertrained or neglected, they might become weak and stiffen. These muscles are not exclusive to those that cross the elbow joint. Shoulder stabilizers and movers like your rotators, deltoids, traps, and lats might indirectly put added tension on muscles that do cross the elbow joint, like your triceps or biceps. This increase in muscle tension ultimately results in more aggressive contact between the bones and tendons during elbow flexion and extension, which translates into a loud snap. You see this often with people whose bench press form is not ideal or are dealing with other forms of muscle weakness due to injury or imbalance. Since there is no pain, is this something you should worry about? I personally don't believe you should lose sleep over it, but something should still be done. Research has found that people who experienced chronic crepitus and did not intervene were 3 times more likely to develop pain in the form of osteoarthritis than people who did. And once pain starts to set in, it's usually much more time-consuming and costly to fix. Let me show you 2 solutions that in my experience work well to silence the noise over the short and long term. Start by addressing the simplest fix, which is form related. Flaring the elbows out, improper grip width, and shoulder protraction are key faults that not only contribute to noise, but also reinforce other bad bench press habits. To fix this, first focus on maintaining about a 45-degree angle between the arm and torso throughout the eccentric and concentric phases of the movement. If this adjustment makes the lift too difficult, lower the weight and practice a little bit. Next, check your grip width. Slightly wider than shoulder width grip is usually enough to ensure your wrists are directly over the elbows at the bottom of the press. Not only might this stop the noise, but you may even be able to lift more weight than you did before. Third, focus on keeping your shoulders pulled back throughout the range of motion. As I mentioned earlier, shoulder position plays a role in how your elbow flexors and extensors function. Keeping your shoulders locked and secure means the muscles crossing the elbow joint aren't pulled out of optimal position or under any unnecessary stress. I like to think about pretending the bar is a wooden twig and you are snapping it. If you're confident these form cues are being met and there is little to no improvement, move on to the next solution. Start by doing a few repetitions to assess the extent of the snap. Make some mental notes on how loud it is and how it feels. Next, pick one muscle group of one of your limbs and spend about a minute or 2 performing some stretching and mobility. Common culprits are triceps, biceps, deltoids, and pecs, but you might have tightness in the shoulder external and internal rotators. After mobilizing one of these muscle groups, retest the bench press. If you notice a decrease in noise, the muscle you worked on is likely contributing, and you should spend some extra time strengthening conditioning and mobilizing it within your program. If you don't notice a change, try a different muscle group and then retest. Let me know if either option helped you out in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, share it with your friends, subscribe, and turn notifications on. Thank you so much for watching, and stay strong.